The first question that I have for you is, what was the main issue that you guys were struggling with prior to coming into the Brand Accelerator program?
What we thought it was, or what it ended up being?
Exactly, right?
I think, I'll give you the long form of it. So, we effectively knew that we needed to have a much more intentional, let's call it a sales page or funnel, because, we didn't think that we were communicating that effectively through our current assets. The thing that you said that we would get would be clarity around our brand strategy. And to be frank, that's been the most useful part of the process. So, coming up with the 2 avatars, really understanding them at a deeper level. We've now built everything around that. We probably can go a little bit deeper and get even more niched around it. But I think that's part of the journey as we start to test things out.
We have transitioned from understanding the audience that we were getting from the podcast, because I think ultimately the podcast is at the core of this. So who's listening to Nick, who's downloading those podcast episodes, what are their problems and pains? Then we had to dissect that audience into, well, who do we want to be working with? Do we want to be working with the low value customers where there's going to be a higher volume, or are there some gems in there that are going to benefit lots more from mine and Nick's experience in business valuation and business growth at a level where we're going to be able to drive higher ticket sales from? You helping us break that down and make that transition. You asked us so many searching questions, the deep analysis we went through on the personas. And like Nick says, everything from what is that event in their lives that makes them think, I feel like this and now I need this service, right the way through to what are they going to be doing when they get that messaging. It was just a level of depth and sophistication and I've never seen before. So helping us go from understanding Nick's audience to 2 products for 2 avatars that we're both very happy with and we feel is congruent with the value and experience that we've got was mind-blowing.
The clarity piece that we've achieved allowed us to then redesign our products. So one of the things that we were hearing beforehand, because the podcast has been successful, is, this is all really good, Nick, and team, but how can we work with you? And what we were doing beforehand was just kind of going out there and offering mentoring and various services. And A, that's not scalable, and B, it was just becoming painful, particularly for Rob and I, to work out exactly how we're going to start to make, this into a proper business, a 7-figure business, really. And I think what's happened is, as we've understood it, a little bit more and we've played around with it, we've been able to shape our product ecosystem around the strategy, which is obviously not part of the engagement with you directly, but that's managed to help that. And the other thing that's happened, I think, is we've now started to use that in our social media and more of our amplification. And that's now starting to, make us known for something.
Yeah, I'm seeing you on LinkedIn and I'm seeing you put out that content. I'm like, oh, he's putting it into action.
Well, we've got more clarity. I think clarity is the key benefit, right? If you get into it. And I think the other part, which I think Eve will probably talk about a little bit, is the actual design assets in terms of us being more premium has also been quite nice. I think what the challenge of that has also been about us being disciplined enough to say goodbye to the audience that we were attracting in order to create the space to bring in the people who we really want to work with. And I don't think we've cracked that 100% yet, Henry. It's a bit like weeding yourself off, some sort of party drug. But there is a piece where we know that if we don't do that, then we're not going to be able to take the business to where it can go.
Yeah, agree.
Eve, what do you think?
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, it's just accelerated the whole process. I think we underneath knew where we wanted to be, but how we were going to get there was a whole different method. And going through this process has just really clarified exactly who we're talking to and how we're going to effectively answer their problems and be the solution for them. And it's just also given us the confidence to kind of aim higher and say, no, we should be aiming at this level. We should be asking for this. We should be get there because we've got the experience to help these people. And we're seeing people coming back with amazing responses, being totally overwhelmed with what we're offering now. And you're absolutely right on that process. It is all about the confidence, but also just believing in yourself and being challenged to ask for more is a really important process.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So 2 more questions real quick. First question. What would you say to somebody that's on the fence of coming into the Brand Accelerator program?
Well, I think, you've got to, first and foremost, you've got to be clear exactly what you're trying to get, right? And I think that's an important thing. But you've also got to realize that, if you have the ambition to build something extraordinary, you need to get help and you need to bring in experts to do that. You're not going to be able to do it by yourself. So if you're clear on that, then and you're clear on that, then you need to make a decision and you need to kind of really go with it. And our experience of that has been excellent. So for us, we weren't necessarily on the fence. We were kind of thinking, how is this going to play out? But I think you made the process really, really easy for us, Henry, and very supportive all the way through. And everything that you told us would happens at a really high level. So all the professionalism that we expected was there. And as we said, the outcome, the result, we're really pleased with it. We think we've taken the whole business, the whole brand to another level now.
I love it.
I'd add to that, and I'd just say, don't waste time. Nick and I have had lots of experience in a lot of the areas you cover in our corporate lives. We've looked at the people that are best in this, and we've tried to improve our education over the last 2 years in what you do. And we made a decision in June that was like, don't mess around anymore. Go and work with the best in the industry and get them to help you get to the levels that you need to be successful. So I think people can play around with it. They can look at who's out there doing it and they can try and apply it themselves. But my advice would be, don't waste time.
Last question. What made you choose me and Unique Designs?
Intuition.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think, I think a lot of it comes back to kind of, getting a feeling for certain things. So we didn't necessarily go out there and run a process of trying to find, 20 brand experts and then they all had to pitch. I think, we built some rapport through the podcast. I like the stuff that you were talking about and the way that you articulated it. There was also, it's good to judge people by the company they keep. So, the fact that you'd done some pretty high level stuff with obviously the guys from ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson and Bon Jovi and all that. And I think, and that was important, right? But it's not really the testimonial. It's also the character that you present as yourself, in terms of who you are. So we also thought it would be enjoyable working with you. So it was a measure of both capability and experience, but also just the way you show up and the way that you handle things.
Like a stand-up guy from New Jersey, Henry.
Rob liked the fact that he thought you were something from a mafia sitcom. Yeah, we got a surprise. I tried to say to him, we're not making a decision based on that.
No. But it was from the rapport that Nick built with you on the podcast. And like Nick said, Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels expert. Nick and I were very focused on ClickFunnels because we could associate that with other successes that we'd seen. And the way that we had that first consult call with you, and you said, you guys don't need ClickFunnels. It's not the ClickFunnel that's the magic, it's the content and the copy and the way that you message to your desired audience. And I think ever since then, it's been a great experience. But you've got huge credibility, Henry, and I think Nick felt that from the podcast episode he recorded with you.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for all the hard work you put into this and for trusting me with your brand. Our business is our baby. And, it takes a lot to give that over to somebody, especially for, with a 90+ day engagement, and I really appreciated and I really enjoyed working with you guys. I think it was a collaborative effort. I led the way, but without your help and your responsivity and all of that, the project wouldn't have come out, the way it did. And so I want to give you guys a lot of credit and a big shout out because, you guys have a great dynamic And I wish you the best. And I think you guys are going to get out there in 2021 and absolutely crush it. So I just want to say thanks again, guys, for believing in me and believing in the project and believing in the program. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you do with it.